Yes, there are thousands in our family. Their work is an integral part of what will be the best picture of the year and of every picture of every year. The award that is about to be given then is a tribute to each and every one of them. The best motion picture is...
Hi, I'm Robert Osborne. Up next in our 31 Days of Oscar Festival, we have another film with the man who starred in our last movie, Peter Sellers. This Peter Sellers movie is called Lolita. It's a film from 1962, which earned an Academy Award nomination that year in the category of Best Adapted Screenplay. Now, Lolita was directed by Stanley Kubrick and based on Vladimir Nabokov's best-selling novel of the same name. As you probably know, Lolita is the story of a middle-aged man's obsession with a very young girl, an infant, and it was Nabokov himself who adapted his novel into screenplay form, although that's a bit muddled. Initially, Nabokov passed on an offer from Kubrick to write the screenplay because Nabokov didn't want anyone to water down and alter his story just in order to get the film past the Hollywood Production Code rules. But after experiencing what he called a nocturnal illumination, whatever that is, Nabokov figured out what he felt was a creative way to get around the censorship issues, and he jumped at the chance to write the screenplay when the job was offered him a second time. Well, Nabokov took up residence in Hollywood and proceeded to write a 400-page script, which would run about 7 hours if they filmed it. So Nabokov trimmed his screenplay considerably, and Kubrick accepted that script. Although Kubrick then rewrote the majority of it, it said, with additions made by Peter Sellers, who did a great deal of ad-libbing when the cameras were turning. So nobody's really sure how much of the script is by Nabokov. But he didn't help matters in the 70s either when he released a screenplay in book form, a version he had further rewritten and honed prior to production. Well, what is certain is that it was Nabokov who was nominated for that Oscar. So have a look at the only film he's credited with writing, from 1962 and starring James Mason, Shelley Winters, and Sue Lyon. Here's Lolita. Did you notice how they got around the age of Lolita by never coming out and really saying how old or how young she was? Well, in the book, Lolita was 12. Sue Lyon was 14 years old when filming on this movie began. When the film itself was released, the Catholic Legion of Decency passed it only on one condition, that children under 18 be barred from seeing it, which meant that on paper anyway, Sue Lyon wasn't old enough to see her own performance in this movie. Lolita did a great deal towards bringing about the end of the Hollywood Production Code. Within 6 years, it had been replaced, or better or worse, by a variation of the movie rating system that we have today. Up next, our 31 Days of Oscar Festival continues with Pierre Angeli and Kirk Douglas, Leslie Caron and Farley Granger, and James Mason and Moria Shear in a film focusing on 3 love stories.